now let's go through and get into the details on the different staff reduction programs that you have. Okay, now for terminations, I want to make sure that we're all on the same page here. A termination is you're ending that employment relationship for cause. There's a reason why you're ending this relationship, and it needs to really drill down to two options. One is a performance issue. The employee is not performing, they're not meeting standards, right? This is documented performance issues. The second one is going to be policy violations. You have your handbooks, your employee handbooks, your policy manuals. The employee is violating some sort of policy that's within there, hence that's resulting in the termination. I can tell you, in all the years I've been in business, I really can't think of one time I've terminated somebody outside of those two reasons. So if any of you guys have something though, you let me know down in the comments what your reasons were if they're outside of my two options. And again, the second part of ending the relationship comes into play with layoffs. And this would be for a long-term layoff. I'm going to talk about short-term layoffs differently. This is a long-term layoff. So you have no intention of rehiring this employee back, and you're restructuring the company to where you could be even eliminating their positions. That would make sense to go for a long-term type of a layoff. Employee's going to go get their unemployment insurance and they're going to continue on their new job search in a different direction. So if you're making the decision that you want to maintain the employment relationship, not terminate the employment relationship, you have several different options that you can look at through this next time frame. One is you can simply reduce their work hours. So rather than not having them there at all, you're just going to turn down the number of hours that they're working each week. They're still going to get their medical insurance, 401k, right? All that kind of stuff is going to be the same. All you're doing is essentially reducing their work hours. Now the states, there's 28 states that offer what they call as a shared work program. Most of the content that I'm reading coming from the government right now related to COVID-19 is they want you to use the shared work programs. This allows you to do a combination of reducing the amount of hours that they're working and having the employee gain unemployment insurance for the time that they're not working. Every state can be a little bit different though, okay? There's different restrictions on how many hours you can reduce it by. But it's usually going to require you to have them about 50 to 60% of the time on the clock working. The other 40%, they're going to be claiming unemployment and getting unemployment insurance as the payout for that. It's a nice hybrid between getting rid of the employee completely and having them full time. And it allows the unemployment to supplement the reduction that they're getting in their payroll. Again, every state that deals with this, it's slightly different, and it's not available in all states. So if you need help with this, reach out to us. Our team can help you identify if your state has it and how to get it and get you the information you need to proceed forward with that. Each state will have their own unemployment programs. So what I want to do is give you an overview of some of the possible programs that you might have within your state. The terms are going to be interchangeable, so don't get too hung up on these particular terms. But they may have ones that are called furloughs. Furloughs you see used a lot in government work. They'll furlough a particular department, or they'll furlough the entire agency one day a week for the whole year. Right? These are always based on budgetary constraints, and it's usually a shortening of a work week. What's nice about the furloughs, though, is it keeps you within your budget. But when you look at the furlough, it's mandatory. The employee has no option here. It's essentially forcing him to go on a leave of absence. What you need to be careful of, though, is if you have salaried employees. Salaried employees in most of our subcontracting businesses should only be owners, managers, and salespeople. But if you happen to have other salaried positions, a salaried person, you do not want to put them in any type of this because of the way salaries work. The other aspect of furloughs is they're usually, again, like a shortening of a work week as opposed to elimination of all work within that week. Another one, standby, or it might be called modified unemployment or partial unemployment or short-term unemployment. What this is really about, though, is you're taking a period of time. So maybe it's 3 weeks, maybe it's 5 weeks, 6 weeks. Each state can be different. And you're telling that employee, you're not going to have any work, but be ready. I might be calling you and we're going to have to get back to work. From the employee standpoint, these can actually be of benefit, both the furloughs and the standby, modified employment, all this, because number one, they don't have to look for a job. Most all these programs do not require that the employee that's under them go out and try and find work. The other aspect though is their benefits are maintained. So you're still going to have to pay their benefits. We're going to talk more about that in a minute. But from the employee standpoint, they're in good shape because they're maintaining their benefits. They don't have to go look for a job. They're just waiting for you to call them up. Now, if you're like me, you're totally confused after going through all those different unemployment programs. But go up to your state website. Look at what's available in your state. If you're still uncertain or you're uncomfortable or you're not sure what to do, contact us. We're here to help you. We can guide you into which program is going to be best for you based on what your need is and what you want to do with the employee relationship. Now, in the next video, I want to go into the actual employee benefits and how they're impacted by the different staff reduction program that you choose.